Yeah, my name is Phil Geraci, CW2, and I'm in Detachment 1 Charlie Company, 1st and 168th
Where's it out
Aviation, out of Buckley Air Force Base. So I mean, I'm new in Colorado. I've done some high altitude stuff, but you got to take it slow, power limited, taking off, finding a dip site, figuring out how much water we can pick up in order to not droop our rotor system. A lot of times you're taking off and you're kind of taking off into rising terrain. So we're doing a high recon, a low recon, talking between the two aircraft, figuring out where the winds are coming from, trying to figure out the best angles of approach to the dip, out of the dip, and then talking to the guys on the ground, figure out where they want us to drop the water, and then making sure that we have an escape route out of there if anything goes kind of haywire. So it's technical for me. For a lot of other guys more experienced, probably it's old hat, but it's been challenging and rewarding.
So how do you determine where your dip sites are going to be?
So there's some predetermined dip sites, and then sometimes they're asking you to, to spot drop, and we're looking for dips out there. So basically what we're doing here is we get contact with Air Attack, the fixed wing asset. They call us in, tell us where we're going, and then we contact the asset on the ground, the hot shots on the ground. They'll call us into a position. Once they see us, they'll give us a clock position, distance generally, and then maybe they're waving a VS-17 panel or a shovel, or they had a strobe the other day. We'll locate them, and then they'll describe the fire, what the plan of attack is for the aircraft when the water drops. And then we'll go to the dip site, and then we call off the dip, and then we tell them when we're back in to drop off water, and then they'll give us an assessment of how successful our drop was, and how to adjust fire on the next drop. Yeah, we've basically been on the south end of the fire. There was kind of two heads when we got here, and we've also been on the north end. On the south end, we were dropping water. There was basically the team of Blackhawks dropping water, and then there was two Chinooks up there dropping retardant. And then a observation helicopter up there, so kind of five helicopters operating in the same area. And then up north, it was kind of the team of just the two Blackhawks together up on a ridge line, trying to keep a dozer line clear. Then they decided to do a controlled burn, so we're trying to keep the burn line where it should be. And then that fire just kind of jumped and took off up the valley. And it was interesting. The day before, we were working, trying to protect some houses, and we were at the hotel this morning, and I was talking to an older gentleman down there who said today at 4 o'clock he was going to find out if his house was still there or not. And he was retired. He'd been in the house for 21 years, and it just it really hit me like we were affecting people's lives, and hopefully helping some people keep their homes. It's nice having a part-time job, so I can we still serve on the weekends, and then some, and then serve the state and hopefully make a difference. It's not just training.
Sergeant First Class Marc Belo, M-A-R-C B-E-L-O, Alpha Company 2nd and 238th GSAB, Colorado Army National Guard. So aviation, along with other units of the Colorado National Guard, have been activated to support multiple agencies in fighting the Spring Creek fires over the last, it started last week and still continuing to grow. And so we're providing aviation support through water bucket drops. Aviation is also supplying fuel for the helicopters. We have crash, fire, and rescue from the Army National Guard, as well as MP units and several other units all on the ground providing security and firefighting details. We arrived Monday afternoon. By Monday night we were dropping water on the fire all day yesterday, all day today. So it's 3 to 4 flights a day at about 2 hours apiece, dropping numbers of buckets. Terrain is one, because we're in the mountains. We still have high altitude, it's hot, so the aircraft are power limited, which also determines how much water you can pick up in your bucket and some of the missions that go on. Visibility is another one with the smoke. Air traffic, it actually gets very busy, especially when the big air tankers come through to drop slurry or water. A lot of air-to-ground, air-to-air communication, so it's actually a very intense environment. We can, with the water bucket, and we're well trained on this, that we can drop both what we call a trail drop, cover a longer distance, or we can slow down and hit a single tree or a single structure and put the water out there. It's basically whatever the personnel on the ground tell us to do or ask us to do, we're going to do it to the best of our ability. First is always lives and structure protection, and then what they're trying to do now, along with structure protection, is build fire lines to start putting brakes in to try and slow it down, if not stop it at certain points. So first and foremost is structure protection. If there's a community of houses, they're doing everything they can to not lose any more houses.